Across the planet, there are bridges that seem almost impossible to cross. A concrete bridge that rises almost straight into the sky. A suspension bridge hanging above a fast-moving river, yet it's so primitive it seems almost insane. And a rotten, crumbling bridge, with no room for a second chance. These bridges should never have existed, yet every single day people still step onto them. Defying fear, defying danger, defying even their own survival instincts. Up next, let's explore the world's most dangerous bridges, where every step feels like a prayer. Instead of crossing directly between two mountain cliffs, Ruyi Bridge features a bold design suspended 459 feet above the ground. The structure consists of 3 curved sections that twist continuously through the air like a roller coaster track. The entire bridge is anchored firmly into the 2 cliffs. There isn't a single support pillar underneath. The series of rising and falling curves makes it feel much less stable than a straight bridge. And that's not all. The bridge deck is made of open steel grating and transparent tempered glass. Empty space stretches beneath every step. Many visitors end up gripping the railings tightly, freezing in place, or turning back halfway because they're simply too scared. Seeing it on a screen, many people think it's an AI-generated image. But once you're standing there in person, it becomes a test that challenges even the bravest hearts. Take firm, confident steps at the next location, because before you even set foot on the bridge, you'll be greeted by a warning sign. The Carrick-a-Rede rope bridge stands 98 feet above the sea, stretching between 2 rugged cliffs. Local fishermen built it hundreds of years ago to reach their salmon fishing grounds. Only 66 feet long and about 3 feet wide, the bridge is held together by ropes and narrow wooden planks. When the sea wind blows, you'll feel the bridge swaying beneath your feet. The rushing water below is always waiting to swallow you at any moment. As dangerous as it is, the bridge still attracts hundreds of visitors who line up for the chance to cross it. Come here and let the sea breeze blow away every limit you've ever had. In the middle of the Hunza Valley, the Hussaini Hanging Bridge is little more than a few steel cables stretched across a turquoise river. Nearly 640 feet long, it connects the two sides with a structure so simple it seems almost insane. The entire walkway is made of narrow wooden planks fastened to steel cables. The planks are spaced far apart, wide enough for your foot to slip straight through. Through those gaps, the Hunza River rushes endlessly below. Every step has to be perfectly placed. The farther you go, the farther both ends of the bridge seem. The deck gently sways with every step. Wind sweeps through the valley. The rusted cables on either side offer almost no sense of security. This fragile bridge was once the everyday route for people living in the rugged Karakoram Mountains. Even today, locals still choose to cross it instead of replacing it with a modern bridge. Before driving onto the bridge, every driver stops, looks ahead, and honks the horn. They have to make sure no vehicle is coming from the other side, because the Vitim River Bridge is only wide enough for a single vehicle. There is no room to pass or turn around. The bridge stretches 1,870 feet, but is only about 6 feet wide. There is no concrete or asphalt. The surface is made of worn, patched up wooden railroad ties. There are no guardrails on either side, and there's no room for mistakes. Right below flows the icy Vitim River, rushing through a remote mountain wilderness. You can only move forward one careful inch at a time if you don't want the dark water to swallow you whole. Even though people are warned not to cross it, many still risk their lives on this deadly bridge. Would you dare enter a ghost town by crossing a narrow bridge suspended above a deep canyon? Built in 1898 to serve a gold mine, the Puente de Ojuela Bridge stretches over 1,000 feet and hangs 300 feet above the ground. After the mine was abandoned, the bridge was restored as a challenge not meant for the faint of heart. A deep, rocky canyon lies below. The bridge is narrow. Wooden planks run from one end to the other. The openings in the railings are wide enough to let you look straight down into the gorge. Every gust of wind that rushes through the valley makes the bridge shake. The farther you walk, the farther away both ends become. The empty space beneath your feet seems wider than ever. There are no solid concrete guardrails, no reassuring feeling of stability like a modern bridge. Just steel cables stretched tightly between two cliffs. Only after reaching the other side will you understand why this is considered one of the scariest bridges in Mexico. No bridge spans, no support pillars. Just a few narrow wooden planks fastened directly into a nearly vertical cliff. The Huashan Plank Road stretches more than 330 feet, hanging along a mountainside over 2,100 feet above the ground. Each plank is only wide enough for one person. On one side is a cold rock wall. On the other is open air dropping straight into the canyon below. To move forward, you have to press yourself against the cliff, grip the worn iron chains with both hands, and shuffle sideways one step at a time. Mountain winds constantly sweep across the rock face. Beneath your feet is an endless drop, reaching all the way to the valley floor. The most unbelievable part is that this path has existed for centuries, and perhaps everyone who dares to walk it has a heart unlike anyone else's. Deep in the rainforests of Meghalaya, the Khasi people have built bridges from an almost unbelievable material. They guide the young roots of Ficus elastica rubber trees through hollow areca trunks or wooden frames. The roots are these trained to grow toward the other side of the stream. Over the decades, they weave together, fuse, and eventually become a complete bridge. The remarkable part is that the entire root system is still alive. Fed by the region's heavy rainfall, it keeps growing every day, thicker, stronger, and more durable, with time. Unlike ordinary bridges, these living bridges become sturdier as they age. They have stood for more than a century and continue to grow. The whole forest seems to be creating its own hidden pathways. From the top of Gunung Mat Chengyang, a steel bridge nearly 410 feet long suddenly draws a graceful curve through the air. The entire structure is supported by just a single tower. From the top of that tower, steel cables fan out to hold up the entire bridge deck. As soon as you reach the middle of the bridge, you quickly lose your sense of direction. Its curved design keeps the far end out of sight. The bridge also tilts to one side, makes the feeling of exposure even stronger. Several sections of the floor are replaced with transparent glass. One glance down is enough to see the breathtaking distance between you and the forest canopy below. In return, the bridge offers a view that's hard to find anywhere else. The deep blue Andaman Sea wraps around islands scattered across the vast landscape. On low cloud days, the entire bridge rises above a sea of clouds, looking both breathtaking and almost unbelievable. From a distance, the Eshima Ohashi Bridge looks like a concrete wall rising straight into the sky. Its steep crest almost completely hides the rest of the bridge beyond it. Tiny cars line up, slowly crawling uphill. It feels like the slightest mistake would send them rolling backward. But it's all caused by the camera lens compressing the perspective and making the slope look much steeper than it really is. In reality, the bridge has a grade of only about 5 to 6% on each side. Its highest point stands nearly 147 feet above the water. That height allows ships to pass underneath without the need for a movable bridge. Even though photos of its steep incline have amazed people around the world, it remains a modern transportation route with very few serious accidents on record. Still, when you see that wall-like road rising in front of your windshield, would you have the courage to press the gas pedal? The Bastei Bridge sits among massive sandstone rock formations that have been shaped by wind and rain over millions of years. From a distance, the bridge blends into the grey cliffs as if it had existed long before humans ever arrived. Stretching 251 feet. The bridge is made up of 7 stone arches. Below it lies a gorge, more than 131 feet deep. As you step onto the bridge, towering rock walls rise on both sides like ancient stone towers. The stone railings, built in the 19th century, aren't very tall, just enough to remind you that the drop is only a few steps away. Whenever the fog rolls in, the rock pillars ahead fade into the mist. The old stone walkway seems to float above a sea of clouds. On clear days, the entire Elbe River Valley and its vast pine forests spread out before you. For a brief moment, it feels like you've stepped into a fairy tale. A nearly 490-foot-long golden bridge suddenly curves through the sky. Opened in June 2018, the Golden Bridge quickly became one of the most spectacular pedestrian bridges in the world. Standing out among the clouds are two giant stone hands supporting the entire structure. Their moss-covered fingers make them look like the ruins of an ancient civilization. In reality, the hands are built with a steel framework and finished with a faux stone surface, but the visual effect makes them look almost unreal. Beneath the hands stretches the lush greenery of the old-growth forest. Fog rolls in. The deep gorge below is almost completely hidden. The railings on both sides become the only reminder that you're standing on a bridge. Every step feels like you're walking straight into endless, empty space. From a distance, this structure looks just like a row of ancient pavilions with layered tiled roofs. But it's actually the Chengyang Wind and Rain Bridge crossing the Langkawi River. The bridge stretches over 210 feet. A covered corridor runs across its entire length. Standing out are 5 tall wooden towers that make it look like a tiny village. But the most astonishing part is that the entire structure was built entirely of wood using the traditional craftsmanship of the Dong people. Not a single metal nail was used. The wooden columns, beams and joints fit together so perfectly that the bridge has stood strong for well over a century. It's more than just a way to cross the river. It's also a gathering place for the local community. People still walk across it every day, chat beneath its roof, and hold traditional ceremonies there. Cars drive beneath the water. Boats glide right overhead. This upside-down logic comes to life at the Veluwemeer Aqueduct. Its unique design allows boats to cross over Highway N302 without waiting for a drawbridge. At the crossing point, the roadway dips into a short tunnel. Above it is a water channel deep enough for small boats to pass through. From above, the 2 pointed strips of land embracing the waterway look like 2 boats facing each other. While the crossing of road and water creates a striking view, few people realize it also comes with serious risks. The entire concrete structure and its steel piles have to withstand enormous loads to keep water from leaking onto the traffic below. The water pressure is so great that it could collapse at any moment. Stand at the bottom of the Tarn River Valley and there will always be a giant towering directly above you. That's the Millau Viaduct, once the tallest bridge in the world. Stretching more than 8,000 feet, the bridge is supported by 7 massive concrete piers. Steel towers rise straight into the sky, with long cables stretched out like sails. Its highest point reaches about 1,125 feet, even taller than the Eiffel Tower. Below lies the endless green of rolling hills, open fields, and the winding Tarn River. On days when thick clouds fill the valley, the lower sections of the piers disappear completely. Only the bridge deck and its towers seem to float above a sea of clouds. Driving across it, you almost lose the feeling of being on solid ground. On both sides is nothing but open space. Ahead is a road that seems to lead straight into the sky. Want to know what frozen fear feels like? Step onto the Titlis cliff walk. Standing at an elevation of 10,000 feet, it's the highest suspension bridge in Europe. It clings to the sheer cliffs of Mount Titlis. About 328 feet long, the bridge sways with every breath of the icy mountain wind. Beneath your feet is a drop of more than 1,600 feet. Jagged peaks covered in permanent ice. The steel grating underfoot lets the wind roar up from the gorge below. The freezing air cuts straight through your feet. In the thin mountain air, every movement of the bridge makes you feel the harshness of nature even more. Yet in the middle of those howling winds, the entire Alps unfolds before you in breathtaking beauty. Surrounded by endless snow and ice, it feels as if you've conquered your own limits. Some bridges scare you for the first few seconds. This one keeps the fear with you for the entire journey. Sky Bridge 721 is a suspension bridge for pedestrians. It stretches an incredible 2,365 feet, connecting 2 mountainsides covered with pine forests. The walkway is only about 4 feet wide. there isn't a single support pillar. It hangs nearly 312 feet above the treetops. Dozens of steel cables extend downward, anchoring it firmly into the rocky slopes. Below is a deep, empty drop. Ahead is a path so long that the far end never seems to get any closer. Every step sends vibrations through the steel mesh deck, while mountain winds keep the bridge gently swaying from side to side. On Sky Bridge 721, the pressure quietly builds with every step. The scariest moment comes when you've already gone too far to turn back, but still have hundreds of feet left before reaching the other side. Among the limestone mountains of Mok Chau, the Bach Long Glass Bridge stretches more than 2,000 feet like a white thread reaching from one cliff to another. Because of the rugged mountain terrain, building concrete pillars in the middle of the valley wasn't possible. So the entire bridge is suspended by massive steel cables anchored firmly into both mountain sides. The bridge deck is covered with transparent tempered glass panels. Every step lets you look straight down at the forest and the rocky cliffs below. The farther you walk toward the middle, the more the open space surrounds you. The glass beneath your feet makes it feel as if only a few inches separate you from the abyss below. The combination of a suspension bridge and a transparent glass walkway turns the journey across the valley into an experience that's both breathtaking and challenging. This bridge looks so fragile that you can't believe it could support your weight. Yet the Zhangjiajie Glass Bridge was designed to hold up to about 800 people at the same time. Stretching 1,410 feet, the suspension bridge spans a canyon nearly 984 feet deep. Massive sandstone pillars rise on both sides. Because the canyon floor is so deep and rugged, engineers couldn't build any support pillars underneath. The entire structure hangs from a system of steel cables anchored directly into the cliffs. Instead of a solid deck like most bridges, the entire walkway is paved with 99 panels of triple-layer tempered glass. Its slim white railings and reflective glass make the bridge almost disappear when viewed from a distance. Every step reveals the vast empty space below. Wind rushing through the canyon makes the bridge sway. Every sense of security disappears. The only thing left to rely on is faith. Is a height of 955 feet enough to terrify you? That's about the height of an 80-story building. This nightmare is called the Royal Gorge Bridge in Colorado. Completed in 1929, its deck isn't made of reinforced concrete. Instead, it's built from more than 1,000 separate wooden planks. The moment you step onto the bridge, the sound of your shoes on the wood and the wind rising from the canyon below take over your mind. Standing in the middle of the bridge, the river below looks like nothing more than a thin blue line. Around you are bare limestone cliffs left exposed after the 2013 wildfire. Despite the constant sound of the wind, thousands of travelers still cross the bridge every year to experience what it feels like to be so small in the face of nature. Looking at this bridge, you'll probably ask yourself, how did they even build this? The Trift Suspension Bridge hangs more than 300 feet above the glacial river. Stretching 558 feet, it spans the gap between two massive mountains. The bridge is supported entirely by steel cables with no pillars underneath. The walkway is less than 3 feet wide and made of connected wooden planks. The gaps in the deck and railings tempt you to look straight down at Lake Triftsy. Mountain winds sweep across the bridge, turning it into a giant hammock, swaying high above the ground. In the silence of the mountains, the emerald waters of Lake Triftsy sparkle in the sunlight. Its dramatic beauty is impossible for any thrill seeker to resist. Throughout this journey, every bridge has challenged you in a different way. Some trick your eyes, some sway in the wind, some reveal a deep abyss beneath every single step. But the scariest part was probably never the bridge itself. It was the moment you had to decide whether you were willing to keep moving forward. Around the world, countless other incredible structures continue to push the limits of what humans can build. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on the next adventure.